Hey guys, welcome to Bashlamp channel. In this video we are going to see what are the basic configurations that we need to perform after installing the Windows 2019 server. If you are new to this channel, you can check out the installation video first, and then follow this video. And also don't forget to like and subscribe to the Bashlamp channel. Now we are going to configure certain settings, and in next video we will be install the Active Directory domain service on our Windows Server 2019. So these are the basic configuration tasks that we are going to perform on our newly installed Windows Server. The first task, we will check for the system update. After that, we will configure the time zone for our server. After that, we will assign the static IP address to our server. Then we will enable remote desktop. By enabling this, we can remotely manage our server. And the last step will be renaming our server. So let's see how we can perform these tasks on the Windows Server 2019. Let's get into our Windows Server 2019. Then open Server Manager. On the Server Manager console, I am going to click the local server. Fine, here you can see our operating system version. So the first task is, we need to check the system update. So here we have the options for Windows Update. And it says download updates only using Windows Update. So let's click that. If you are a Windows user, you might be familiar with this window. So we can check our updates with this. And based on the results, you perform the task. If your result says system is up to date, you can leave it as it is. If not, you can click update. For me, I have to do some update, so let that run it on the background. Now, we have successfully finished our first task. Let's move to the second one. Now, our second task is, we are going to set up our time zone. So, as you can see, time zone is currently set to this. Let's change this to our time zone. For that, click this and click the change time zone. So, let's click on it again. And from this drop down, I can choose my time zone, which is Sri Lanka. Then click on OK. Again, click on OK. As you can see that, our modification is not updated yet here. If you want to update this information, here you need to click on this refresh button. So you can see our time zone is changed. Let's move to our next task. In our third task, we are going to assign a static IP address to our server. In the Server Manager, you can see under Ethernet, it is set to an assigned IP address from DHCP. So let's click on it. That will open the network connection console, where our adapter is located. So select our Ethernet adapter and right-click on it. Then select the properties. Here, we are only going to use Internet Protocol version 4, so let's uncheck IP version 6 if it is selected. Now, select IP version 4 and click on Properties. As you can see, it is currently set to obtain IP address automatically from DHCP server. We want to select this one because we want to set the static IP address. So I can give this static IP address and the subnet mask. And finally the default gateway. Then DNS server will be my IP address, and the alternate DNS server like this. So now click OK. Here I need to tell one thing, that our preferred DNS server is my IP address, because we did not install DNS service yet on this server. But in the next video, we will install DNS service as well. That's why I have assigned our local IP address as a preferred DNS server. So let's click on OK and close this window. Then click again the refresh button. And as you can see, now our server is displaying Ethernet IP address. Our next task is enable the remote desktop. So let's go back to the Server Manager. Here you can see remote management is by default enabled. That means you can manage this server from another server's Server Manager. We also want to enable remote desktop, so we can manage our server from another computer as well by using remote desktop connection. So let's click on this disabled, and here I am going to select allow remote connection to this computer. You can see it will also add the remote desktop firewall exception to this server as well. Let's click on OK, then click on Apply, and then click on OK button. After that, again hit on the refresh button. And you can see remote desktop is enabled now. Now, our last task is rename our server. We are going to assign one meaningful name instead of this random name. So let's click on it. Then click on Change. And here under Computer Name, we can give our specific name like this. Then click on OK. Now, we need to restart our machine to apply this change. So let's close our Server Manager and restart our server. Now, we get back into our Server Manager. One thing you might notice whenever you log in into the server, Server Manager gets loaded automatically, and that we don't want. So, to disable it, click on Manage and select Server Manager Properties. And here, I can select this option to stop auto load. Now, click on Local Server, and you can see our computer name changed successfully. Well, we have successfully completed our all tasks for this video. In the next video, we will be promoting this server as a domain controller for a new forest. So, keep support guys, and don't forget to subscribe BashLamp channel for the system engineering and cybersecurity videos.